Welcome back to FSL Valorant Evolve, presented to you by Intel and supported by Yahoo. We have a special treat for you guys. We mentioned that we will be casting the grand finals, but a little bit of a tidbit because we're seeing 3DT versus Bing Chilling at their third map. So this is going to be their decider. Whoever wins this will move forward to go against Boosted from Malaysia.
Oh my goodness, that's a special treat indeed. But you know what? We're not going to be the QuackNet duo anymore. We're not friends anymore because
No?
this is Singapore versus Philippines. I'm very clearly rooting for one of these teams, and then Dona's rooting for the other. We're gonna have to find out really soon, though. Look, she doesn't even want to look at me anymore.
No.
That's how serious this is.
Yep, a little bit of a rivalry because 3DT are Filipinos and Bing Chilling is from Singapore. So no quack nut for now, but we'll see. Still the competition not between us though, because we're casters. Why are we feeling our nationalities? But it's an interesting pick because of course we will, I mean, as casters we don't have to really side with anybody, but I
You
mean,
know.
3DT, they're Filipinos.
But for now, okay, you can say all that, all the stuff that you want about 3DT. Bing Chilling beat 3DT on Ascent 13-8. So, I don't know what you're on about. Bing Chilling's definitely going to take the last map.
Probably, but mine was 13-9. But when it comes to
13-8 and
Haven,
13-9. Which one is
yeah.
better? You let me know.
Well,
Well.
yeah. Okay, but Haven is a different story. This
All right,
is
all right.
actually, I have a little bit of a trivia for you. Haven is actually the map of Filipinos. This is often picked.
Really?
Yes, in certain tournaments, we call it in Tagalog, mapa ng Pinoy, because
What is
this
that?
is the map of Filipinos. Basically, everybody wants to really play this. This is practically the Filipinos' playground, but maybe SG has something to say as well because Bing
Maybe.
Chilling, they might just really, sit back and really dominate against 3DT. We don't know what to expect, but what we know are the agent picks. What can you say about
Select
this?
your agent.
Could you teach me how to say that real quick again? The map
Mapa
what?
ng Pinoy?
Mapa ng Pinoy?
Yes.
Did I say it right?
Yes,
Mapa ng
yes, you
Pinoy.
did.
Oh my
Yes.
god. All right. I'm happy now. All right, we're friends again. Doesn't matter. I think Bing Chilling, we have seen that Haven can be a favorite map of the Filipinos. I think I've heard that from RQ before as well. But I seem to recall a certain team called Renatus White performing admirably well on Haven against teams like Alter Ego Celeste before, too, So
Yeah.
I'm just saying, there is a chance. I mean, in terms of agent composition right now, they're going for Omen as their default controller. That's pretty standard, I suppose. But on the other hand, it's the duelists and the initiators that I kind of want to highlight because for the side of Bing Chiling, they've got Sky plus Sova. So they're going for that double initiator. Meanwhile, on the other side of 3DT, standard double duelist. Do you think one of this is better or worse for the other?
It might be depending on the play style, but knowing Kaori Coco, actually, I think she's one of my friends here in Valorant.
Really?
She does play the Raze often, but she chose to be the Jet here in the map of Haven, maybe because of how versatile the dash is and also
Scanning
the
ahead.
updraft skin be. Very, very helpful. So now in terms of the push, they've all been spotted by that recon bolt, but they still push forward. Now, don't tickle me please, and the defense takes down Cali, but Kaori Coco is gonna be there with a double kill. Now eliminating all other people in the C
Spike
site.
planted.
Now it's down to Shooting Stars checking if there's going to be a flag there by mid, but timing is everything. Azula makes it so because as she throws in the guiding light, she's able to get the headshot.
One
Now it's
enemy
just down
remaining.
to members remaining. Kaori Coco able to get the third and Azula to finish off. Now the pistol round is 3DT's.
Gotta say, that was all Kaori Coco. The way that she was dashing in and playing up close and personal with that frenzy really netted her those 3 big kills. I mean, it seems like a big number, but it was also really impactful because she was able to gain control and create that space for her teammates because of that. I think Bing Chilling weren't really expecting her to be just right around the corner. TLJX certainly wasn't expecting her in that spot, so they really need to kind of change around their positioning a little bit. This time with the shorties of all things, but they've kind of gambled on towards the wrong site. C is completely clear. Meanwhile, 3DT, every single member headed towards the A site.
And there's only one in terms of the defense. It's the Killjoy. And with no turret around, I think there's a little bit of a struggle because it's just the bonnet of the turret that was seen. So at least they get control of the A site for now. But the retake can commence and can happen for them if there's going to be a little bit of a kill here for TLJX in this flank. But the alarm bot actually really gives them the position. But shooting stars with a shorty. Even Kaori Coco, it's not enough for her because all of the classics do connect. But Masha Goldfish actually walks through that. Maybe because she was blinded by the light of shooting stars. She tries to defuse, but BMO with a shock bolt as well to remove Don't Tickle Me Please. What is that IGN? Don't tickle me, please.
Please don't tickle me. I don't want to laugh. I don't know.
I'm serious here. I'm playing Valorant.
that tone. I'm playing Valorant. You just made me laugh, don't it? But I think this is we're starting to see a pattern of 3DT just really knowing how to play post-plant. Once they get the spike down, they are able to set up for these potential nanoswarms, shock darts. I mean, first of all, there was that Omen play from Big Shilling walking in to really just die to the nanoswarm. Really unfortunate. I think she wanted to pick up the weapon at some point, but whatever it is, this time it's going to be the full buy for Bing Shilling. So they're a little bit more comfortable going in for that aggressive peak just right off the bat, taking one player down. Numbers advantage is incredibly strong for them. Not to mention, look at your mini-map. There are two players situated upon C-Long Dragon area. So if they push into C-Long at any point, that's going to be painful, to say the least.
And what they can do is actually push out through Garage, but the Trailblazer, they know that there's a sky behind that, and their team member fell down. Kaori Coco is out of the picture because of shooting stars, so that's why there is that fear to come in. That's why they choose to go B instead. Now the smokes are down, but Satin, she's just gonna spray through because of the alarm bot contact. No tags connect, but still... Here is TLJX from behind to get the kill. And the retake from all angles. This is something that 3DT does not necessarily know that they can do. But Kali still able to connect one, but Satin yet again with the 3K. The patience pays off for Bing Chilling. And they keep 4 of the rifles, only 1 member down for them.
Absolutely incredible stuff. I mean, first of all, economy, that's a big win. Second of all, just in terms of rounds as well, another big win. The way that they were so patient to, like you mentioned, just play around that dragon area, not to mention rotations around A and C link were really on point too. It's not a problem for them. The only way that 3DT could have maybe turned that round around, I guess, would have been to possibly push into A. But then again, that would have been a little bit more difficult because they would be running out of time. B is just that easy to retake, and even more so when you have people approaching you from every single possible angle. They weren't expecting players to come out the top of mid, I think. Regardless, they're going to be trying to make a C play this time, and they're going to be doing it with a full buy. Sending the drone in first, but then the dark cover comes out. They're going to have to think twice about this now.
It's harder to push out a dark cover because there's a little bit of a blur before you actually get out of it if you walk through it. So they just really want to wait out and maybe quote-unquote waste it for Bing Chilling. But they're still waiting here. a little bit of a jump peak because they want to secure the kills for themselves. The openings are so important here for Haven, especially for the attacks, because if you get one, then it's going to be a wounded defense. But Tickle Me Please is going to be just waiting here, so even if they dash in, they walk through, they don't necessarily check the corner. Now the sprays connect. A triple for this C hold, and Don't Tickle Me Please makes it a
30 seconds left.
Now it's just Azula all alone. The spike is nowhere near her right now, so she finds somewhere else to go.
You know,
She
her
has a
name might be
phantom,
Azula, but I don't think she can firebend her way out of this one.
Can
10
she?
seconds left.
But she has the power of the Iron Phantom. Let's see
Looking
if the
for
bullets
extra
actually
time.
bend in her favor.
Bend the bullets. Maybe
Yeah,
if you swing
bullet
your mouse
bender
as you shoot.
in Valorant.
Oh my goodness. Well, she's gonna hold on to that thing for now, which is not too bad.
Please is going to be just waiting here, so even if they dash in, they walk through, they don't necessarily check the corner. Now the sprays connect. A triple for
Not to shoot down Kaori Coco as she dashed into sight. She really turned that choke point at the mouth of C Long in towards a very big, like, rear naked chokehold or something. Like, 3D tried to push through it, but just because they weren't expecting her to be in that one off angle, she took down 2-3 players. So here we go, different round now. Slightly different setup as well, and hearing that owl drone, they know it's going to be a potential A hit.
Matchable Fish really using the Shrouded Step as she wants to really be unexpected, just like Don't Tickle Me Please in the previous situation. Now, and she does spray down, but Bebo is so ready for that jump. And they play a little bit back. The spike is actually very near the entry, but they hear the footsteps of the rotations. That's going to be confirmed by the two members there by A-Link. So they call for it. Now they're ready for this garage push. But there's a cloudburst in their way. But still Shooting Star is able to bring out that guiding light. Saw Zed cross through. That's why she pre-aims and gets a kill. But the C-site is theirs. They have to worry about this Killjoy flank because Azula, she's gonna get Satin. And Shooting Stars, she has to look at her 6. And this is the opportunity to rejoin now with 3 versus 2. Even the lockdown isn't just to secure this round. Ali the spray with the Spectre though, but Shooting Stars was able to get one, but I think there was a little bit of a panic because what do you shoot first? Callie or the lockdown? She tried to go for Callie, but Callie was too quick.
That's exactly right, and that is why, you know, some people might think that the lockdown was a little bit excessive. I don't think so. If you have it, you might as well use it. Maybe you get a third lockdown in the end of this first half, and she's getting kills anyway. She's securing the round win for her team, and I think that's the most important bit, especially on a map like this when you're on the attacking side. You want as many rounds as possible, and the way that they're playing it as well is just such a favorable thing. Getting an early pick off on one side and then rotating back. It just causes so much confusion for Bing Chiling, but this time around, they're trying to pull off some tricks of their own. Again, these same 2 players, Don't Tickle Me Please, pushing up towards the mouth of C Long again. Bimo might have heard or sensed something, so
Yeah.
swinging her mouse wildly, but not able to find anything yet. Still trying to bend those bullets.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was bullet bending in that situation, throwing it like a recon bolt. But shock darts, that's gonna damage the LJX, and Don't Tickle Me Please is also half HP, at least tagged down to 83.
Standing ahead.
Now she senses danger, so she falls back together with a team. A is the site to be because there's only the Omen guarding this site, but turrets and a swarm grenade is deployed, so this will be a signal that they have already gone there in A. But Magic Goldfish with his paranoia play, she might be able to take down one, but Satin is here behind her. That's why there's going to be the duo here. Gold is so fine that Magic Goldfish finds another, and Satin with a third. Now a flawless round. That's what I love about Omens. Once the paranoia is in, you really do get already gone there in A. But Match Goldfish with this paranoia play, she might be able to take down one, but Satin is here behind her. That's why there's going to be the duo here.
And along with it as well. But just because Masha Goldfish was not blinded, she sent out her own paranoia, completely catching Kaori Coco off guard, and because of that, they were able to turn that push all the way around. So now 3-3 again. It's just back to back to back, and Bing Chilling are able to adapt adequately towards 3DT's advances. Let's see if they can do it again.
I love what Shooting Stars is doing here because she seeks out information, but also if and when somebody gets blinded, she wants to peek out and get the kill. That's what happened during the third round against Kali. But she's actually out for more. There's gonna be a guiding light, but Kaori Coco with an anti-flash play doesn't really confirm her position. So now TLJX and as well as Shooting Stars, they have a big hold here in Garage, and this might be a good call for them because there are 4 members of 3DT behind those doors.
That's absolutely right. She sees every single one of them, but I gotta say, I love this double initiator setup. That's the strength of it. She's even supported by TLJX, getting extra information with the Owl Drone, the Recon Bolts, and now, even though 3DT's trying to stream into the B site, they're getting stopped by Satin, not to mention coming from C-Link, the 2 initiators. They might have gotten the trade, but then TLJX swings out from the back of Garage, getting an instant flick. 2 players down, 1 on her left. She's gonna finish that off. And of course, taking the win for her team, TLJX. This girl is sharp.
Super sharp.
Initiators. Maybe they might have gotten the trade, but then TLJX swings out from the back of Garage, getting an instant flick. 2 players down.
She's so sharp as that Sova, and we might see something sharper as we see her have that Hunter's Fury. Might be a possible delay here of any plant, and or maybe for the retake, because 5 members of 3DT, they're going in for the A site yet again. They found success in terms of the entry before, but Matcha Goldfish, she has to be stopped.
She's backing off though. She wants to set up for that paranoia play again, or maybe even just retake. And like you mentioned, TLJX can still use her Hunter's Fury just to delay that plant. Or maybe she's going to use it for her retakes instead. Zed going to try to step away from danger. They've gotten the spike down, now they're just setting up for these post-plant positions, but no! It's not just a Hunter's Fury, it's a lockdown as well! Every single player basically trapped and pinned down, and knowing that they were trying to back out as we were long, it's gonna be TLJX shooting all those beams from the Hunter's Fury. Bebo with the counter Hunter's Fury as well. That's the lockdown, but
standing ahead.
That's the 1 player detained regardless. They try to fall back, but I think it was all too late. Going back in just to spray down the diffuser. It's only good for 1. Now it's all up to Zed. The diffuse is still going to be stuck, and because she knows it's all over, she's going to back her way out of that one. Bing Chilling, these girls. You know, Donut, the rivalry's back on. They make Singaporean like me really happy.
Definitely, because that's really the decision. I doubted initially TLJX premature use of the Hunter's Fury, right? Because, okay, in timing, it's supposed to be done at about 4 seconds as they are exiting towards that safe place, the corner there by A Long. But still, that managed to catch them, I think 1 or 2 people, and in response of the Hunter's Fury, yes, the members of the Bing Chilling, they were all tagged down to half HP, but it didn't really matter because they had the numbers. And if ever now, numbers still dwindling for the side of 3DT, not because of the heads, but because of the economy. They're on a save.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more labored from here on out. 5-3, no economy. They can't quite find the entries that they want. No angles as well, just because of that dark cover from Matcha Goldfish. Gotta say, I love that name, by the way. Moving forward, Perhaps their only possible site, the only possible site they can hit is either B or C. I mean, B or A. They're certainly thinking of B for now, just because it's a little bit easier to take, perhaps. Satin's trying to stop this, though. She has her Nanoswarm prepped. Not to mention that Guiding Light just gotten a whole lot of information for Bing Shiling right now, and all they gotta do, really, is to just chill at the back of sight, let the 3D girls come in, and then get the sprays down, but no, Satin whiffs it. It's gonna be Zed leading the charge this time, and with the dark covers, she secured it for her team just for now. They could pick up a couple more weapons, but I think they really need to back out of sight just to set up for post-plant scenarios. They've lost a couple of players, but Kali thinks different. Makes it a trade, heals herself back up, and all of a sudden, the only one left is gonna be Shooting Stars. 1v2 now, trying to find yet another. She swings around the left side of the site, knowing that Kali could be here at 8 HP, but she turns away playing anti-flash. She's good! And she gets the close quarter battle win for Bing Shiling. I mean, sorry, for 3DT. I said her wrong.
That was our score, by the way. I was just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that was a good play for Kali. Instead of devouring that orb, she wanted to play the dismiss. And how they were able to still hold that double peak to just get Shooting Stars out of their way. It's just really a good play for 3DT. If they continue on with these team plays and just really sticking together, they might be able to get Bing Chilling to get it down to a very, very low score. I mean, in terms of the momentum. But now Kaori Coco and also this Azula, they're actually going for
You should run
split this time. This is gonna be scary yet again because Matcha Goldfish, we've seen her with the paranoia plays, but she gets tagged down to 11. She needs a little bit of a refuge. Good thing there is Shooting Stars to heal her back up.
They're topping her off. She's got to be at about 100 HP right now. They're setting up for a full 5v5 retake. Not a big fan of this because it can get so messy, but the Shock Dart lineups, they don't quite connect, maybe just for a second. But here comes the Blade Storm combined with the Updraft. It's going to be up to this crossfire setup from Kaori Coco as well as Azula, though. It's putting a stop to the Manders for the time being. The Nanoswarm is even better. And as soon as they try to stream in, coming up from the top of heaven, they take Satin down. I mean, Azula down. Don't tickle me, please, now. Just holding off the short note that the two players are coming to this spot. Satin makes it a trade as well. And then the defuse is good, just because it is so secure thanks to her teammates. The updraft. It's going to be up to this crossfire setup from Kaori Coco as well as Azula, though. It's putting a stop to the Manders for the time being. The Nanoswarm is even better. And as soon as they try to stream in, coming up from the top of heaven, they take Satin down. I mean, Azula down. Don't tickle me, please, now. Just holding off the
kill. And the team play is even better for Bing Chilling. I think the team of 3DT, they have to be worried about these double peaks, these setups that the retakes of Bing Chilling are doing, because even though there aren't necessarily any blinds anymore for that, they just really win by sheer duels. And right now, TLJX, you see that duels are won, able to get 2 in this garage area, but she gets tagged down by Zed.
And then Azula from C. I mean, you talked about these duels, but if 3DT can actually outmaneuver, outposition the Bing Chilling girls, they could come out on top. Certainly for now, they've gotten control over the C site. The dark cover even better as well. She could set up a potential play with the From the Shadows all across site just to come up with the flank of sorts, but regardless, it's going to be the Paranoia just to stall time for a little bit longer. She has to stay alive, though. That is the most important thing. She's good for the first headshot, but not the second. Turns this into a 1v1. At the very least, Matcha's down 30 HP. Azula just needs one spray, and she's done it. 6-5, and 3DT are looking to tie this one up.
I love the crossfire setup there by Azula and Matcha Goldfish, just in case they'll come from CT, right? But if ever they'll come from Garage, it's gonna be Azula as that last line of defense there by the spike. She had a wonderful position there, and they managed to just... The dark cover of Matcha Goldfish was towards C long. But the good thing about the position of 3DT is they were just on site. And the team of Bing Chilling, they did not expect that play in terms of the post plant, because if you have the lockdown available, you have the swarm grenades, then usually you would play back.
Exactly. I mean, if we dissect the way that Bing Shilling holds down C or B, it's really just because of Satin's nanoswarms and the way that TLJX, supported by Don't Tickle Me, they keep constantly rotating around these sites, C and B, sometimes over to A. So much so that they kind of leave C open at points. But regardless, right now, it's going to be the push in towards Garage. Nothing much that Satin could do except for spraying blindly past the dark cover. Good for one. Has to back off though. And then from the shadows towards the back. I think she's gonna get spotted out, but Zed is actually good for the frag as well. Down to the 2v3. And it's gonna be up to Zed to retrieve the spike. She's the one closest to it. Kaori Coco has to be careful because Monster Goldfish is looking in the corner. Low timing! She looks away! And just like that, a little bit more normalcy for 3DT.
30 seconds
they have
left.
the options now, Donut.
Careful.
Initially, I was so scared because they were so far apart from each other. Kaori Coco, it was just really good timing for her to catch Zed there. Smokes invested towards Heaven because this has been a position that they were punished altogether. Now the Hunter's Fury to try and deny the plant. Now tags actually both of them, but doesn't secure the kill. At least both of them are so low. And now TLJX, she throws in that recon bow to find out where they are, but this is going to be a double setup. Quite a deadly one, not less. TLJX. And also this Jet checks them out. Zed is good for the first. Don't Tickle Me, please. Is going to trade it out, but it's still Don't Tickle Me, please, to get now the 7th for Bing Chilling in this defense.
Oh, wow. Gitchy Gitchy Goo means that I love you. You know, don't tickle me, please, but I'm gonna tickle you all I want. It's just all the difference of angles in that very moment. The double setup was really good. I mean, they were both low HP, so there was that chance that if someone with the spray held the angle a little bit too tight, it would have been possible for someone to convert that spray and get both of them. But just because they were that sharp, they were able to take down the first. However, onto words, don't tickle me, please. Kaori Coco got a little bit too eager, perhaps, trying to strafe in and out. Exposed her body a little bit, and unfortunately she lost it. So 7-5 will be the score at the end of the first half, but it's not too bad. If they can win the pistol round, if 3DT can stop this momentum, they could turn this back 7-7.
7-7 possible, especially that Haven in terms of the defense. It's stronger here in A. B is a bit questionable, not unless we see a little bit of a pop-off for the Omen, but it seems as if they want to go to C. They're checking Garage out right now just to make sure there aren't any Killjoy utilities laid here in the door. So Matcha Goldfish secures this entry with this dark cover, but she allowed entry. The rest of 3DT, they play back. They allowed this, but Zed does win it out in terms of that kill for Matcha Goldfish.
Whoa.
With a TP, quite risky, because if ever she would be so out in the open, but the rest of the members of Zen, they're actually going through, but Zen Azula was looking the wrong way. She was looking to the left, so that's why kills are in favor of Bing Chilling, because not only do they get the lead, but they get the pistol round, and assuming the pace, it might be another round for this.
Oh no, it's not looking too good. Their tournament lives are on the line. 3DT really need to string more rounds back together, but unfortunately for them, perhaps they're dropping some frags here and there. I mean, you mentioned the dueling potential earlier on, but also just the way that you actually go in for an entry. I mean, when you're playing defense, you're going for a retake on a side. You're basically entering, right? But you got to be able to clear out the angles a little bit more carefully. The way that Zen Azula was just pushing out, it was a little bit flawed, and it's very, very scary when things like that happen. The way that Bing Shilling has all these post plants set up, they can't quite allow them to get the spike down so easily. So trying to hold on to it, it's going to be Zanazula again. But oh my goodness, Matcha showing her how it's done, coming in from Garage, getting 2 kills just like that. Zed wondering how she can manage to push it out. Garage comes back in to take Shooting Stars down, but no! It's yet another double. Trying to turn this around, but not quite meant to be. The classic will not get its right clicks today like that. Zed wondering how she can manage to push it out. Comes back in to take Shooting Stars down, but no! It's yet another double.
So satisfying, especially to hear the sound effects of the Prime Spectre when the kills come in. But yeah, I mean, it was quite expected, but still 3DT should have set up for these crossfires, because the classics can be even more damaging in these close corners. So maybe if Kali was playing a little bit closer to the Killjoy, then they could have had gotten the kills. I mean, a trade is necessary, but the trades weren't because of how fast Matcha Goldfish did that flick. And what's important now for 3DT during this timeout is to really talk about their team play. We saw that during the attacks, especially during their post-plant positions. But now, because Bing Chilling is on the lead, it's quite scary to shut them down. And with the buys, the rest of the members of 3DT force bought some Spectres. Quite questionable. So now, some of them are just holding SMGs while the rest are on their Phantoms and Vandals. So maybe a bit of an advantage for some, because Bing Chilling, they're all holding the Spectres that they bought because of the Flawless.
Wow. Oh, that was a nice little support from Kali with the Leer. But as soon as they pushed out, they kind of choked themselves in that very tiny gap. I think they wanted to back out of it, but they got locked.
Yeah, a little bit of a bottleneck and through that door, so it has to be also communication that's key. So now Kaori Coco actually falls back, tells her teammates that, okay, I hear some footsteps and I also hear the drone coming in, so this might be an A push. But I think the rest of the members of Bing Chilling heard the rotations come in, so that's why they back out of it.
Oh no.
And that's the reason why they find other spaces in the map that they can take. And that's why they're going through Garage.
Oh, no.
There's nobody here to defend. Zed is going to use that paranoia, but an exchange of blinds. Don't tickle me, please. Gonna move forward, but it's gonna be a triple peek to punish them. BMO confirms that there's no more Jet in the picture, but it's a utility game for Bing Chilling. A Sky, a Sova, and a Killjoy still alive for them. So this is going to be possible.
Here.
A dark cover is placed there by C Long, but pushes forward. It is going to be
One enemy remaining.
Emo getting the kill, getting killed, I mean, but still Satin with a peek gets a triple. And it's Bing Chilling yet again with another score, converting their bonus. Now 3DT, their buy so low.
Yeah. It really is scary, like you mentioned from earlier, Donut. It's a low buy. It's Haven. They're on defense. There's so many different possible sites that Bing Chilling can attack from that they're honestly a little bit overwhelmed at times. And then, not to mention the fact that they're on kind of a losing streak right now. You can feel that mental pressure that 3DT are dealing with. It's not easy, and they're trying to find whatever they can, even wall banging, all the way from B. Unfortunately, it's not going to tag anyone up, not too much anyway. So, Bing Chilling really just taking this slow and steady. The previous rounds, they were so aggressive, and they were able to find all of these entries. 3DT needs a little bit extra.
Emo, I mean, she might be. Wow. I was actually doubting, but with a little bit of a space there, a gap, she was able to get first a headshot and then 2 more shots to the body. Now there's no more of the jet that can try and dash in toward the site, but the second entry still possible as we see here. The double initiator setup. They're not backing down though. They still want to go back to A, maybe get the trade. But the good thing about this is their controller Matcha
30
Goldfish can
seconds
still
left.
provide them the cover that they need to try an entry. But Kari Coco, is she
You should
expecting
run.
this?
Oh.
No, she isn't. TLJX actually gets a headshot now. Bimo is in the sticky situation. She either has to push forward or fall back. Doesn't really get to decide anymore because TLJX is right there in her face. And now for the retake though, they don't have anything else to work with. They have the sheriffs, yes, but no ultimates online for the Killjoy. No lockdown to displace or detain. So Zed just tries to wall back, but Magic Goldfish, perfect paranoia. But the Leer in response just really catches the timing, and TLJX from hell brings them down. And she is able to secure a 4K as well.
Perfect spring, perfect recoil control, TLJX lighting up the kill feed. And not to mention the rest of the team as well. I mean, the way that they actually push in together. Matcha Goldfish securing and obscuring vision with her dark covers. Shooting Stars initiating all these fights with her guiding light. Everything just happens perfectly and aligns perfectly for Bing Chiling that 3DT are unable to do anything. This time around, they're trying to pull out all the stops. We've got Kaori Coco with her operator locking down the C-long angle. I don't think it has been fired just yet, so Bing Chiling shouldn't be aware of this.
It's actually the first time that we saw Kaori Coco with an operator. Even for Don't Tickle Me Please, even in the defense, she didn't hold this sniper rifle. A little bit of a jump peek. Shooting Stars baiting out that shot. Confirms that there's an operator into play here. She falls back, tells her teammates, let's maybe not go see because there's an operator, but they're still going through garage. It's going to be Azula here as a line of defense. Spots out that drone, sprays it through, but all of her utilities are destroyed.
Oh no.
She even gets destroyed by Matcha Goldfish with the timing. With Zed, however, here in A-Link, she's able to get Satin. And from the shadows here in B. Now it's a 4v4 retake. Paranoia comes in to try and get the kill, but there's not yet anything that comes up in the kill feed. Patience game for 3DT as they all come in. It's gonna be Zed going down to Don't Tickle Me Please and Kaori Coco with just one. But Don't Tickle Me Please, they lined up for her.
Match
So
point.
she's able to get the 3K. Now it's match point for Bing Chiling.
Oh,
In terms
man.
of the defense, once the sides have been swapped, not much that 3DT has been seen from them. Now Don't Tickle Me Please has the operator.
Donut, my face is as sour as sinigang soup right now. It's 5 losses in a row. That is incredibly devastating. I mean, Kaori Coco, even with the operator, was only good for 1 kill, and they weren't able to stop the pushes from coming into this B site. And now, she definitely hears that it just whiffed and grazed past her face. She's gonna have to think twice about this one. The defenses are just that much difficult. I think Zenazula also tried to stop the push from going into towards garage, but she didn't realize that they would just push past a nanoswarm like that. So this time hiding in the corner now, Kali senses danger, tries to run and gun away with the Spectre. A little bit of support from her teammates as well. It's going to delay the push just for a bit, so not bad. They're buying enough time. It's down to the minute.
Well, there's a lot that you can do in a minute, though, especially with how you mentioned, yes, Sinigang is a little bit sour, but looking at Bing Chiling, they're like spicy laksa with really the rolls of scores.
Wow.
I mean, they're hot. I mean, they're hot when it comes to these attacks, and 3DT, they can't do anything about it but make a sour face, as you mentioned.
30 seconds
Because
left.
they can't really control the aggression. And right now, at least Azula gets one. Lockdown comes in, but the rest of the members of Big Chilling, they just move forward. They destroy the lockdown.
Down A.
Get out of my way.
But there's 4 more people. Satin makes it work with the classic, but there's not much that Bing Chilling can do. He got overwhelmed by the rest of the members who rotated. Now at least the first round in the second half for 3DT.
Not too bad. Just maybe washing down that spice with a little bit of milk, right? No more laksa. I don't even really like that. I'm kidding. But in all seriousness, when they have the perfect reads, 3DT are actually able to stop Bing Shilling from pushing in. They have to just be a little bit careful. I think sometimes they're overthinking things or just being a little bit careless. So once they actually get a little bit more comfortable, they will be able to chain these rounds. Operators sounded off yet again, and Big Chilling should be thinking twice about heading into the C site. Aldrin getting sent out just confirms it, but right now it's TLJX trying to nail her down with the Hunter's Fury. Not quite able to connect though. Look at how they dodge that thing like Neo from the Matrix. But still, that is space that has been created. They've managed to push on in towards the C site, and pretty soon the spike will be planted. So BMO might have been a little bit too premature with that Hunter Fury.
Ooh. As Karikoko was holding the scope, Magic Goldfish tried to do something sneaky, but shut down there by Kali now. She is overhealed and has the Empress online, so the turret looks for the rest of the members of Bing Chuling, but Satin is not giving away. It's gonna be Don't Tickle Me Please to get the 2K as she hides in her smoke. It's gonna go down in a moment, so Kaori Coco is gonna get the kill.
Player standing.
TLJX down from behind, but Shooting Stars.
One
She
enemy
tries
remaining.
to look for one. She does against Kaori Coco, but Kali is able to get the 3K. But is there time? This is a defining moment.
No!
There's no time,
Attackers
so it's a
win.
clutch for Shooting Stars. A good effort for 3DT for map number 3. But it goes to Bing Chilling.
No. She was sticking the defuse, got off of it just because of Shooting Stars. The star of Bing Chilling with her guiding light. Just that one piece of utility. Just that little peek. And it was enough to get Kali to go off of the spike. Oh my goodness, that is absolutely incredible stuff. They managed to close this out 13-6. You know, we're casters, we love to joke around a lot, but rivalry or whatever aside, I was hoping that we could see more from 3DT, and unfortunately, you know, Mapanang Pinoy, they weren't quite able to get this one. I was really hoping for it, but well, I'm gonna be washing down my salty tears with a nice tall glass of Dalandan juice. Is that a thing?
Wow.
I don't
Yes, it's called Dalandan. Yes, it's quite refreshing.
I'm gonna need it.
Yeah, especially now we have to wash the tears away, but still go for a celebration for at least the team of Bing Chilling, because SG and Malaysia is what we're going to see in the grand finals.
SG and Malaysia, that's what it's all about. We got Bing Chilling on one side, and then we've got Boosted on the other. Whether or not these two teams really stack up against each other, I still don't really know, but I think it's safe to say Bing Chilling really has quite some fraggers on their team. I mean, TLJX with her Hunter's Furies at times who are really on point. Satin as well, a really strong anchor on certain sites. It's really incredible stuff, and I can't wait to see what happens next.
Well, what happens next is going to be on the screens for just a bit, but before we go into the grand finals, Boosted versus Bing Chilling, we're just going into a short break, so don't go away and we will be right